The maintenance tip is brought to you by Roswell Trailers.
The braking control system on a camper or a trailer is very important, and basically anything over 2,000 kilos we need to use a brake control system. So here to talk to us about that is Danny. Danny, talk to me about the braking control.
There's a lot of different types of controllers in the market. As you see, this particular one in here is a digital one. It's quite a good controller, but most of them will do the job as what they're made for. It is very important to get them adjusted properly before the trip. The way to do that is simply to hook up your trailer, caravan, whatever you're towing, behind, and as you take off, hopefully your street is not a very busy one. Simply just test it by driving, applying your foot on the brake and seeing or feeling the weight behind your vehicle, if it's dragging or if it's pushing your vehicle forward, and just adjusting it that way. And as I said before, this particular unit in here is compulsory for anything over 2,000 kilos. And at the same time, you also have to have a breakaway switch on your trailer, van or anything like that that's over 2,000 kilos.
Okay, well how about we go and have a look at that now on the trailer?
That sounds good. The breakaway system comes with generally two things. One is a switch and a battery, and in some states a legal requirement is to have a monitor system where before the trip you can simply have a look at if your battery is full. So if in case of your trailer is getting disconnected in transit, it simply applies the brakes on and doesn't allow your trailer to go all over the place and injure somebody or anything like that.
So is charging the battery, is that a matter of doing it externally or does it do it through the vehicle?
That's a very good question. Most vehicles will charge the battery as they're travelling if they're wired to do so. Generally they're wiring through this, to the reverse pin, because in Australia it's not compulsory to have reverse lights on the trailers. Therefore, quite often they're used for this particular
system.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
So to see my battery strength, is there a monitor here on the trailer, or?
Yes, there is. There's a monitor on the trailer where obviously you press a button that shows you if the battery is full and ready for use.
Well, that's some great information about a braking system. Thanks for that. Make sure you join us again next time to keep us safe on the roads with more great trailer tips.
Well, we're very fortunate this afternoon to meet a wonderful man, a man I've just found out is a man of many talents. He's the Commodore of VMR, Volunteer Marine Rescue, Hervey Bay. And I can't thank you enough for your time this afternoon. What a beautiful evening we've got.
Absolutely, it's beautiful, and thank you very much for being here.
It doesn't get much better than this in Hervey Bay, does it?
This is a great office for me up there, and on that balcony I can see everything that needs to be seen.
Now tell us about these two rather mean-looking machines that we're fortunate to be on.
Sure. This vessel is a 8.3 metre Noosa Cat, and it's powered by twin 250 horsepower motors. This vessel we use mainly for our search and rescue operations, mainly because it's a larger vessel and we can get more crew on board as lookouts. We also use it for medivacs from the island or off vessels that anybody's been injured on, and it's been a very good vessel for us. It's up for refurbishment next year, but we've kept it exceptionally well over the years that we've had it, and it's going to be a minimal cost for us to refurbish it.
Now, we saw a rather nifty way of how you actually launch the boats.
Yeah, when we launch our vessels from here, we have them on two cradles in the boat shed, and we have to lower them down by electric winch into the water to actually launch them into the water. But it's not a time-consuming effort to launch them. We have about 20 minutes window to launch these things and be on the water and going. So
yeah, I was going to say, with that process, having to go through that process, how does that affect your response time?
Very negligible. We have crew that live very, very close around here, and if it's anything critical, we call them first. And usually the skipper is the first person to be called because he'll designate which vessel he wants to take, whether it's a small one or this one, depending on the job. And usually the crew are down here, the boats are launched just as the skipper walks in the door. So all he has to do is take them off the cradle and away we go. So
what's involved with responding to an emergency for you folk?
Usually the first port of call is the radio room. The emergency call or any call will come into the radio room. they disseminate what it is. If it's an emergency call, the first thing that they do is inform the water police or the ambulance if it's a medevac, and then we go from there. The water police do have to know what we're doing, because one of the criteria we have to let them know when we're on the water at any given time with the vessels, just in case something else comes up, you know. VMR 466, VMR 466, VMR 466 is a Fisherman's Corner Rescue. Fisherman's Corner Rescue.
Amazing looking pieces of equipment, these GPS. Tell us a bit about the nav nets you've got on board.
Okay, well, we have a GPS, and the system is integrated off the main screen, which is in front of the helmsman, the skipper. You've got your navigation data, you've got your radar, and then you've got your CMAP, your GPS, you know, okay? Yep. And there's different ones you can use, of course.
Now, you said earlier on, before we even started this interview, when you were launching these boats, you looked at us and said, 2 words, safety first. Yeah. So if I was to head out, this is what I'd be wearing, one of these. Yes.
Put the life jacket on, and this is one of the criteria that any passengers on the vessel, we do ask them to put the life jacket on, of course. This is one that the crew wear, but if we're short of life jackets, whoever is on board will be wearing these as well. We have the normal life jackets on board. We carry 12 life jackets, 6 without lights and whistles, and 6 with. So we've got plenty of safety equipment on board the vessels.
So it's paramount. I imagine this has to be zipped up?
Oh yeah, zip it up, pull the zip up. If you go overboard, you just rip the pocket down on the left-hand side, and it automatically inflates.
So how much for one of these?
$700 to replace that.
You're kidding?
No, I'm serious.
So you want it back?
Oh, please. We'll have one of the crew wondering where they are.
So how do you fund these?
We get a certain amount of money from the government, about $20,000 a year, that goes through to us for the search and rescue component that we do. They won't fund us for anything else, and everything else we have to do, we have to find the money ourselves, which is by fundraising, sausage sizzles, raffles, whatever else we can do. Our Waterside Assist program, and our faithful members who renew every year.
I think you enjoy your sausages.
No, I don't actually. I mean, I can blame my wife for this.
The all-volunteer service they operate is truly commendable, but they are always looking for spare hands.
We're always looking for radio operators, especially at this time. We've got the optimum number of crew now. That took some doing, but radio operators always seem to be few and far between. We pay for the training of the radio operators, and they come on, as long as they come on board and give it back to us in kind. But yeah, radio operators are our main bugbear at the moment. I think every organisation in Queensland, volunteer organisations, in the same boat.
VMR 466 to Fisherman's Corner would like to say a big thank you to you all upstairs for allowing us this time today and borrowing Commodore Tom Hudson. Amazing man, and very honoured to be a part of this operation with you today. Thanks again for your time. Romeo that.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure.
For more information on VMR or any of the stories you saw tonight, just go to our website 31digital.com.au/caravan and camping.
But now it's time for me to face the music as I go back to Peter without whiting.
Now, did you catch? You must have caught my whiting.
Well, Peter, I tried very hard to get your whiting. I caught 3 reefs and a lot of other things, but I didn't get your whiting. I must admit I tried very hard. So I thought, if nothing else, maybe you'll be happy with some tuna.
A can of tuna. Good on you, sunshine. I love tuna.
Better than nothing, chocolate.
Next week, the journey continues as Peter and I travel further north, stopping at Bundaberg to sample a certain distillery's world-famous rum.
And we also chill out in the stunning little haven of 1770. I hope you'll join us then.
Now, to find out more about any of the places you've seen on tonight's show, visit the website www.31digital.com.au/caravan and camping.
Do you mind with this map, Jazz, and where we're going next? We can do it in the morning.
I'm going to do some study tonight.
Peter, have a one. Knock yourself out, okay? See you, Dal. Bye.
This show was brought to you by Telvor Motorhomes, ARB 4x4 accessories, and proudly supported by Caravan in Queensland.